Here's a comprehensive list of the best podcast platforms for promoting music, including why they are effective and how they can be utilized. 1. Apple Podcasts. Global reach. As one of the largest podcast directories, Apple Podcasts provides significant exposure to a broad and diverse audience. High discoverability. Its ranking and recommendation system can help podcasts gain new listeners through features, ratings, and user reviews. Integration with iOS. Built into all Apple devices, which makes it an accessible platform for millions of potential listeners. How to use. Submit your podcast through Apple Podcasts Connect and ensure high-quality content to maintain good listener ratings and attract more subscribers. 2. Spotify Music and Podcast Combination. Spotify offers both music streaming and podcast content, making it a perfect platform to cross-promote your music and podcast episodes. Curated playlists and algorithmic reach. Use the platform's playlist and recommendation algorithms to introduce your music to podcast listeners. Growing podcast base, Spotify has rapidly expanded its podcast content, increasing listener engagement. How to use. Upload your podcast through a hosting service that partners with Spotify or directly through Spotify for podcasters. 3. Google Podcasts expanding user base. With the popularity of Android devices, Google Podcasts is becoming increasingly prominent, reaching users who might not use Apple services. Search integration. Tightly integrated with Google search results, allowing podcast episodes to appear in searches related to your content. User-friendly. Easy access for listeners through the Google Podcasts app or web browser. How to use. List your podcast on Google Podcasts by submitting your RSS feed to Google Podcasts Manager for tracking and analytics. 4. Podbean. Comprehensive hosting solution. Offers podcast hosting, distribution, and monetization tools, making it ideal for independent musicians looking to build and manage their podcast efficiently. Monetization opportunities, features like premium content, live podcasting, and integrated advertising help monetize your podcast. Analytics, detailed performance statistics allow you to refine your strategy based on listener behavior. How to use. Create an account on Podbean, upload your episodes, and use their promotional tools to expand your reach. 5. Stitcher Podcast Network, part of a larger podcast network that offers recommendations and showcases popular podcasts to its users. Stitcher Premium offers ad-free listening and exclusive content, which can attract dedicated podcast fans. How to use. Host your podcast on a platform that syndicates to Stitcher or submit directly to Stitcher's portal. 6. iHeartRadio large user base. Known for streaming radio, iHeartRadio's podcast directory is a strong platform for attracting music lovers. Event promotion. iHeartRadio often integrates podcasts into its events and special promotions, providing further exposure. How to use. Distribute your podcast through hosting services that partner with iHeartRadio or submit via their podcast portal. 7. Anchor by Spotify all-in-one platform. Ideal for beginners, Anchor offers free podcast hosting, creation, and distribution tools. Monetization features includes built-in sponsorships and listener support features to help monetize your content. Music integration. Leverage Spotify's music library to incorporate tracks into your podcast legally and seamlessly. How to use. Sign up on Anchor, create your episodes, and publish directly to multiple podcast directories, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. 8. Audible, Amazon Podcasts. High-quality user base. Known for audiobooks, Audible users often have an affinity for audio content and could be interested in music-related discussions or artist stories. Amazon integration. Podcasts on Audible can be promoted alongside other Amazon Music services, increasing discoverability. How to use. Submit your podcast through Amazon Music for podcasters to reach a dedicated listener base. 9. TuneIn Broadscope. Offers access to radio stations, live streams, and podcasts, making it suitable for reaching traditional radio listeners transitioning to podcasts. Versatile content. Great for incorporating live event recordings or special music broadcasts as podcast episodes. How to use. Submit your podcast to TuneIn through its podcast submission form for broader distribution. Benefits of using these platforms for music promotion. Integrated music and podcast strategies. Platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts allow artists to promote both their music and podcast content to overlapping audiences, enhancing cross-promotional opportunities. Monetization and growth. Platforms such as Podbean and Anchor offer monetization tools and analytics that help optimize content for revenue generation. Global reach. Platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts ensure your content reaches a worldwide audience, expanding your listener base and potential fan outreach. Enhanced discoverability. Podcasts hosted on platforms like Spotify and Google Podcasts benefit from search algorithms and playlist placements that increase exposure. By choosing the right platforms, you can maximize the reach and effectiveness of your podcast as a marketing tool for your music, connecting with existing fans and discovering new ones.